Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings from beautiful tropical Port Macquarie. So let's talk about this today, that narcissists are very manipulative and they know how to draw you in and empty you out, sending you all the way to your demise, which so many of us experienced. People believe that narcissists can target anybody. So if you believe this, I truly hope today will help you understand that they can't. Mind you, if you've been drawn in, this is not about blaming and shaming you, because I was too. What today's Thriver TV is about is identifying your gaps and closing them firmly up so that you never again will a narcissist identify you as a snack, hone in and ensnare you. So how does that sound? I promise you this, when you become inoculated against narcissists, you'll be free to be yourself, powerfully and radiantly in the world. No more hiding, shrinking, and being scared. And what could be better than that? So do stay with me on this today, because I'm going to take you through a powerful real life journey with examples to explain to you how to achieve this. All right, so before I get started, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like button. All right, I want to have a look at closing your gaps while dating, because understandably people are terrified to date again after being smashed by a narcissist. And so many people ask me, what if I get sucked in again? I really want you to know that dating, when you have these fears, is dangerous. And this is because fear is a powerful magnet that draws to us exactly the experiences that we fear. Fear does not keep us safe. And the reason why is because our most important human soul lesson is to know that people outside of you are not responsible for your experience, you are. And if you fear them instead of being solidly you, then life and other people will show you how you are not being solidly you. It really is up to us. If your beliefs are that sharing a meal and a glass of wine with a narcissist means that they can trick you, draw you in, and start destroying your life, then you will continue to get what you believe. Beliefs are powerful, especially when we have a lot of emotional energy around them. If you believe, however, this previously happened to me because I had gaps that were unconscious. However, if I find them and shore them up, this will never happen to me again, then you don't need to ever worry about who you are sharing dinner and a wine with. In fact, you will welcome the experience of seeing how different you are as your own powerful protector and healthy source. How else will you ever have the confidence to know that your life is firmly in your own hands and isn't susceptible to others? I know in my previous life, I used to hand my weaknesses and my victimhood, my gaps, to narcissists on a silver plate. And it was my normal. And I had no idea that I was doing it. And one of the greatest mistakes that we can make, which makes us easy prey for a narcissist, just like an injured gazelle is to a lion, is this: telling them about all the ways that previous partners have hurt us. This is because it means all a narcissist needs to do is tell us how much they are not that person. Then we think we've hit the jackpot with them, whereas the narcissist is actually skilled in telling us exactly what we want to hear. If we do instant relationships and we don't take the time to ascertain somebody's values and character, and if we do that, we are playing Russian roulette with our soul and our life. Look at what happens when we discover that we are hooked to somebody who is not a nice person, who doesn't have our best interests at heart, and who doesn't have the resources to be healthy. What happens when we're hooked to that? We lie to ourselves that we're in love. Real love, however, has certain criteria to even be possible. And without these healthy requirements, love is obsession, addiction, and toxic rather than genuine. Likewise, if we try to be everything that we think somebody else needs and wants in order for us to be loved and accepted, then we're not being real, and we are hugely susceptible to being matched up to a false self, which, as we know, is a narcissist. Yet if we are firmly in our body, anchored in our values, self-love and self-acceptance, and we take the time to see if people match our values and truths, we no longer accept and try to change people who aren't compatible into people who will make us happy. Rather, we'll be content to wait until the right match comes along. So let's just imagine a few different scenarios. Starting with Craig is on a date with Amber, and she looks and smells great, and Craig thinks that she is stunning. They start a sexual relationship very quickly. Amber is a narcissist, and she starts abusing Craig and draining his resources. And only a few weeks into the relationship, already Craig is hooked because of the great sex, and he doesn't believe that he can meet anybody as attractive as Amber. Then there is Scott, who is on a date with Joy, and she wants to move things along very quickly. Scott knows that sensible women who honour themselves take their time to ascertain men. Anyway, he's not interested in sex without feeling and connection. He refuses to sleep with Joy, wanting to take his time to get to know her. Joy, after a couple more dates with Scott, when he doesn't capitulate, sends him a text accusing him of being gay and telling him that he has lost the best dating opportunity he'll ever have. Of course, Joy was a narcissist. Needing to secure a narcissistic supply very quickly, Scott dodged a bullet. And then there's Georgia on a date with Darren, answering his intense questions about her life and her past. And she replies with how disappointed she has been with men who didn't make her a high priority and how this had hurt her. Darren looks her in the eyes and he leans over and he says, any man would be honoured to have you in their life. These men were stupid. They didn't know what they had. Georgia's heart fills with love and joy, just as if she was a parched woman in a desert, finding an oasis and taking a deep drink. At first, the honeymoon period was amazing, but it turns into horrific rejection, abandonment, disdain, and abuse. Darren was a narcissist who had quickly and expertly hooked Georgia in by pretending to be the saviour of her wounds. Naturally, he was the messenger of them because these were her gaps, her unhealed inner parts that he could abuse her with while she clung on, desperately addicted to him and trying to make somebody love her better this time. And then finally, there is Anna, who was on a date with Peter. Peter asks Anna about her previous relationships, and Anna explains to him how blessed and grateful she was for her journey because of the work on herself and how it helped her love and accept herself and be free of her wounds. Peter visibly seems confused. He says to Anna, I'm the same. I've learnt so much from my relationships. I love personal development and growth as well. Oh, says Anna, what exactly have you learned and from what experience? I'm all ears. Peter's conversation with Anna shows that he has no grasp on either personal development or taking responsibility for his own growth. And at the end of the night, when Peter asks Anna if she wants to catch up again, Anna asks, I think not. Good luck with dating and thanks for an interesting evening. To which Peter replies, you're right, there isn't enough attraction for me to see you again anyway. Anna was nearly crying with laughter when she got into her car. This was such a powerful graduation where she was punching the air with joy. I just flushed out a narc easily. Yay! High five to her. Let's have a look at closing your gaps in family relationships. Let's have a look at how this translates in situations with people we already know, such as family or friendships. John is a married man, a grown man with his own family, yet his father, Gary, controls him. Gary is always asking John to drop everything for him, and rather than show any gratitude or appreciation, Gary constantly criticizes and abuses him. John is hooked, and even when his wife threatens to leave him because of the money, energy and time drained out by his father, he can't stop jumping to attention every time Gary summons him. John's unhealed wounds are they're responsible. Can you hear that? That's a kookaburra. That's a native Australian bird that sounds like they're laughing. They're absolutely beautiful if you've never heard one. For our foreign friends, gosh, that's loud. Let me talk. I'm so glad that happened. Okay. All right. John's unhealed wounds were always trying to win love and respect for his father, but nothing he could ever do was good enough. He'd had those wounds since being a little boy. Gail, on the other hand, she used to hand her power and her time to her narcissistic sister, Colleen. Colleen was a single mother and she used Gail for money and babysitting. However, whenever Gail got a man in her life, she would use him instead and dump Gail like a hot potato. Gail was previously heartbroken, confused and wrung out, and she lived in hope that one day she would have a healthy, loving relationship with her sister that she'd always dreamed of. Finally, Gail did the work on her inner trauma regarding her relationship with her sister and realized that those hooks and those pulls of responsibility and guilt were gone, so she could stop handing money over. And after the last discard from her sister, she was very, very clear that without an apology and any respect, the relationship was over. The relief Gail felt by claiming her life, power and soul back was immense. And when her sister tried to smear her to other family members and friends, Gail let go of that trauma from within as well. She had no need to try to prove anything and just kept her eyes on her side of the road, continuing to heal and generate her own healthy life, letting go of anyone and everything that didn't represent this. Okay, so let's have a look at the business side of things. Andrew is brilliant yet shy, and he had incredible ideas, development processes and loads of money, yet he didn't have the confidence to be a public frontman. Andrew met George, a charismatic salesman, through joint friends. And over a few drinks, Andrew shared his dreams with George. George's ears pricked up. He looked Andrew intently in the eyes and assured him that he could help him with contacts and connections. Andrew felt the relief of finally somebody with the confidence and persona to help me is here. And he and George joined forces. 12 months later, after George disappeared with $500,000 of Andrew's money, Andrew realized that he'd been conned by a sociopath. Andrew didn't take the personal responsibility to stop blaming George and realized sensible adults do due diligence. They check out people's credentials thoroughly, draw up contracts and retain control and security along the way. His lack of belief in himself had caused him to willingly and far too quickly hand complete power to George, what everybody without exception does with narcissists that abuse us. It's what I did too. Alice was a client of Jeanette's when Jeanette shared her dream of opening her own shop in a beautiful shop she wanted to open up in a prestigious area. And Alice told her that she'd had the same vision and dream and that they should consider a partnership. After investigating Alice's proposal, which Jeanette requested, Jeanette realised that she herself would be taking on all the risk and financing and that Alice's reference weren't credible. They were lies. After calling Alice out with the discovered truth, Jeanette never saw her again as a client and she felt no loss at all. All right, there are our examples. Now let's have a look at the absolute formula to not get taken in by a narcissist. And I want to condense these different scenarios and make it really clear-cut for you. Don't express your weaknesses to people you don't know. That's number one. Number two is stop holding other people responsible for your life, such as believing you need to find somebody else to fix, save, or complete your life. Number three, don't fall in quickly with people. Narcissists need a payoff of narcissistic supply rapidly for their expended energy. They will not hang around for your due diligence, and you will flush them out. You'll find out the truth if you dig. Number four, know your values and retain your boundaries. Other people don't need to get it. You need to get it. Number five, release your hooks and gaps within so that there's no more neediness, recklessness, and emptiness driving your choices. And number six, be excited about every experience and opportunity which presents and strive to be your best self without any fear or concern about how or who other people are being. It's so important to understand that we all have patterns of behaviour and emotional hooks, unresolved wounds in our life that have caused us to hand our power away and not have solid boundaries. As shown in these examples that I've shared with you today, Craig, Georgia, John and Andrew, as a result of remaining unconscious, are stuck in historic patterns indefinitely with no sign of relief, growth or change. Narcissistic abuse is an ongoing soul lesson for these people until they wake up. Whereas, as a result of taking responsibility to be life generators of their own lives, Scott, Anna, Gail and Jeanette are living on trajectories where life delivers them the same genuine support and authenticity with people and situations that they are showing themselves. So is this clear now? Has the penny dropped? Do you know the powerful way home out of narcissistic abuse now to never let it happen to you again? If this is not 100% clear in your body, which is where it needs to be, then come with me while I help you heal your gaps and traumas that have made you susceptible. And I promise you, together we will find them and release them, turning you into a boundary beast. Firmly in your power, saying, narcissist who? Because they will cease to have any power over you at all. This journey starts by clicking the link at the top right of this video. And if you are with me on this, I want you to write Boundary Beast in the comments below so that I know you are. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe so that you'll be notified as soon as each new one is released. And if you liked this, click like. Also, please share with your communities so that you can help people awaken to these truths that narcissists cannot take down anybody. And if we all firm and heal up, there will be no more food for them. And as always, I'd love to answer your comments and your questions below. So until the next one, I'll be back in Melbourne, sadly. This little holiday is coming to an end. Until the next one, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.